You know what I like about Snoopy? He can be anything. Like a pilot or a secret agent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MLD Monday. Apologize for the technical difficulties there. Not something that usually happens. I completely lost everything. It's like the computer died. So we'll have to investigate that later. But welcome to MLD Monday. It's good to see everyone today. Granted, I don't see you. You see me, though. I feel like I'm feeling good. I hope you are doing extremely well today. Oh, mercy. But let me tell you, it's a wonderful day, a crazy weekend in the MLD, of course. Week 13 in the Champions League, and so many spots being decided in those Champions League's playoffs. We'll talk about those most likely next week, because this week we're going to really focus hard on the championship game, which is going to be Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's a little bit of a pregame going on. Definitely looking forward to that, so make sure that you show up bright and bushy-tailed early for an MLD stream on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, thank you again. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Not too often I drop in the middle of my open. I do apologize also for the troll songs. Apparently somebody requested something, and well, April Fools, right? Oh, that was yesterday? Sorry. But anyway, first segment, of course, we have the Kendo Slice hot take of the week. And I do want to say that the hot take of the week doesn't always have to be a time where I get impassioned and emblazoned with broily fury about something silly. It doesn't always have to be something stupid. Sometimes it can be something that I get extremely passionate about that's really serious. Other times it's just a chance for me to take the opportunity to look everybody in the eye and say thank you. And that is precisely what I want to do today. On a personal note and on a personal level, you, the viewers, have supported me through 10 episodes of absolute craziness. When I undertook MLD Monday, I wasn't 100% expecting to even make it as far as I have this season. And we're still going strong with the Plat League Championship coming up this week and the end of the Champions League coming up next week as well. The thing that I really want to touch on, though, is the fact that you guys have supported me throughout the entire time. I've always wanted to be extremely real about this. And it was one of the things that it was a prerequisite for myself early on. If I was going to do this, I was going to make sure I did it right. And any support that people gave me, I wanted to make sure that I put it back into the stream, put it back into the community. Otherwise, it's going to be absolutely worthless. So what I have here is a wonderful box. A wonderful box that contains something that you, the viewers, literally have supported me and paid for yourselves. Granted, it was something that I was actually literally planning on buying during the sale, but in the month of March, you, the viewers, literally came through and you donated, between donations and subscriptions, $200 towards the cause of MLD Mondays and towards the causes of this channel. And I have to say a serious thank you. You guys completely have overwhelmed me. Yeah, your support, it is appreciated. You guys have blessed me, and I cannot say enough what it means to know that there are people not only supporting me, but there are people supporting the MLD, because it's not like you guys are pulling away support from the MLD at all. I've seen with the bit wars, I've seen the endless support that you guys have shown the organization, and that, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you guys do. I'm going to try to do my best to continue what I'm doing. So look for upgrades in the future to the Kendo Slice stream, because that stream deck, it's going to get used quite often. But thank you very much. You are the ones who made it possible, and I really just wanted to take this time to say thank you, because not too many streamers take the time to say thank you, and I don't think people understand that. Anyway, made by the people is Kendo Slice, and today we're going to be the people, and we're going to talk to the Plat League contenders going into the Plat League Championship. I am really looking forward to these interviews. I'm going to work on bringing them in right this moment. Let's see. Anyway, we're going to go to the interview portion. My first guest today is none other than the captain of the Hawks Platinum League. He led the Hawks to a 34-16 record, which was good for top in the Blue Conference. And he is really become an absolute legend in these past few weeks with some of the plays that we have seen in his first season as captain. I have with me Uppercase One. Upper, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely incredible, my friend. Oh, man. Let's see, I'm going to turn you up just a little bit.
Okay. This better?
Maybe. But maybe you need to talk just a tiny bit more.
Okay.
Tell me about your day, my friend.
Pretty good. Still on spring break. Last day because of cancellations, which would have liked to have more, but it is what it is. And going back to my regular routine during the week.
So I guess I should ask. You're in school. I'm assuming you're in high school now?
No.
No? Oh my. I might be begging for too much information, so if I am, just stop me. We're not trying to stalk you here at MLD Monday, are we?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully no one is trying to stalk you. But anyway, I'm bringing up uncomfortable things. This is not the way that this interview should go anyway. Anyway, you guys started the season out with Old Man Ballin, yourself, and Uber. My first question is on the basis of Uber. Uber, really a decent player. He ended up putting a lot of assists on playing with you, and some would argue that he was the second best player in your lineup at the time when he ended up leaving for the Hurricanes in the middle of the season to be their captain. What I want to ask, just right off the bat as way of recap, was this something that was planned? Was it talked out, or were you kind of blindsided by this?
Honestly, it just kind of came out of the blue. I wasn't expecting anything. I knew that the Hurricanes were looking for a captain spot, having both Flamesy and Sci-Fi leaving. And I know there were some people were talked to about possibly like some free agents or players that were like approached. I mean, I definitely see why they went with Uber. He's definitely a great guy. He's definitely fits the role well, but I wasn't really expecting it since it was right before. I think she's week 5. I think it was.
Yes. Yeah, it was week 5 going into week 6.
Yeah, getting close to that roster lock. I wasn't expecting anything to really happen.
Yeah. I guess I should ask. Is there any bad blood there at all?
No.
No?
We during the season after he left, we still scrimmed with him a couple of times against the Hurricanes. Definitely wouldn't say there's really anything negative.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Is it something that he kind of showed that he really wanted to do, be a captain in the league?
I could tell that he definitely wanted to try to like help more in the league, having joined the applications committee and the power rankings committee.
Okay. Well, I apologize if the questioning seemed a little uncomfortable. I just really wanted to get inside your head there because at that time it seemed like it would be a significant loss for you, but you guys just kept on rolling. I really wanted to focus on your chemistry with your partner there, Old Man Ballin, and you guys just continued to make a push towards the playoffs, winning the Sky Division, and now, of course, seeing the improvement from Old Man Ballin from season 5 to season 6 is absolutely amazing. You guys have great chemistry both in your rotation, and you seem to know where the other one is at a lot of the time on the pitch.
We definitely worked on communication, just like making sure we knew where each other were, like getting centers in, passes through, making sure defense is good. Like letting him know that if the ball comes into our half, that I'm at net and he can pressure. Since a lot of times we want to pressure that ball, especially against teams like the Jets and the Foxes just recently, so they don't have time to really dribble or get a play started. I think seeing Old Man Balling improve over the season. Really, I think it was week 4. It was the first time he had really played on his PC since he was actually away in Dallas doing a Pokemon tournament, and so he was in the hotel on his PC, and we kind of just like popped off there.
Interesting, a Pokemon tournament. This is a line of questioning I might have to pursue off stream with Old Man Ballin. This sounds very, very fun. But anyway, you could definitely tell that he learned a lot from you guys. Your communication definitely seeming to be on point, and I know we had a lot of conversation. I had him on a couple weeks ago, and the conversation was extremely good. He had high praise for you, maturity-wise, especially.
Yeah, I think that they've really grown to know me, and so like they don't really expect from. They don't really, it can be very awkward coming into a game with someone that's much, much younger than you. I know right after the draft, in our first scrims, things were a bit tight, but once we got to know each other, a lot of things just we started to get along well, really started to gel.
That is extremely good. On that line of questioning, I wanted to ask, have you learned anything from him at all?
I think he definitely helps me just stay calm in a lot of situations where there's an unfortunate 50 right in front of net, and so the ball goes in or I miss a shot and which ends up losing the game. Mostly a lot of that stuff really just letting me keep my cool. I think that's definitely what Owen Ballin really contributed to my play style, is to try to stay calm, especially under pressure.
Yeah, so definitely the guy who kind of centers the attitude of the team, keeps the morale up.
Yeah.
Of course, I am talking to uppercase 1 captain of the Hawks here on MLD Monday. Of course, everyone in chat, of course, if you do have any questions for Upper, feel free to, at this time, make sure you ask them in the chat. I do write them down. I do usually try to ask as many of them as I possibly can towards the end of the interview. Of course, Upper, you've gone legend in the past 5 weeks multiple times, to the tune of 3 Rocket Dailies worthy clips. These nutty finishes that you've been coming up with, a couple that have been 0 hero, One with about 1 second left, but all of them very pure finishes and capitalization. Things that... Shots that have essentially won you cases of balls.
Yeah.
I have to ask, are these all planned efforts that you're putting in? Or are you literally so skilled that you're spitballing these things as you go?
I mean, we don't really plan out plays like you would like in other sports where you have you try to plan out where you go. It really is just trying to make good decisions, try to put the ball in a good position to score. And I know with some of the shots, they definitely just kind of worked out. Especially week 9, that play we had against the Jets. It was supposed to be something totally different. It didn't work, but it worked. It got the goal that we needed, sent into overtime, and really, you can't really say that it was planned to go exactly that way.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely a little bit of right place at the right time, but you guys executed extremely well, especially the week 9. I do have to ask though, since you have been the procurer of Balls Guanana multiple times, did you get multiple flavors?
No.
No? So how much do you enjoy the refreshing taste?
I like it. It's definitely a lot different from what I've had in the past. I've kind of related it to a more fruity or natural Sprite in terms of taste for the original. I haven't been able to taste any of the other flavors, but yeah.
That's a very interesting take on that. I know a lot of people, they always ask, what does it taste like? You got to tell me which one should I get and why? And I'm like, okay, well, this is what I think of this and that and this. But I find it a lot more refreshing to hear other people's opinions on the flavor. And yeah, a lot of people, after they try it, they tend to tell me, hey, this is actually pretty darn good. I can see why you're trying to pump it up the way that you do in stream. But definitely good to get other people's opinion on that. Going into the playoffs, you finished off the season with 84 goals, 17 assists, 55 saves. You had a 54% shot percentage. And all those stats, with the exception of assists, were top 15 in the Plat League. Goals specifically being in the top 7. I think it was 7th place. And the shot percentage being in the top 10 as well. But extremely good stats. Congratulations, of course. But I have to ask, looking at your game, what do you feel is your biggest weakness?
I think really, just kind of stat-wise, is that going into the season, it definitely took a while to really get into the groove of really just playing. Playing to your full potential. It took a while for all of us to really get into the proper mindset when playing with each other. I know, personally, I feel like that those first 3 games against the Sky Division, stats wise, were definitely not my strongest games. Coming into the season, I definitely improved a lot, especially swimming a lot with my team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really helped just like getting the practice in and working towards improving really just kind of made me and the way I play with my teammates,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure Omen Ballin will agree, just so much better.
Yeah, he is here in the chat as well. I know, giving you guys definitely support each other extremely well, both off and on the pitch. Definitely a great team chemistry and team dynamic for the Hawks. I've always found that extremely enjoyable to watch you guys. But let's see. Of course, I haven't seen any questions in the chat yet. I find that a little bit odd. Those of you who are watching, if you do have any questions for Uppercase 1, feel free to ask them as you see fit.
Yeah, haven't seen anything so far. So.
I know. I'm kind of like
sad.
I know Old Man Ball, and he says that you're his adopted brother, even though he doesn't know it. So now you know. What would you have to say about that?
I'm not.
You don't even know how to handle it.
I'm like blanking out.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now it seems like we're getting more questions.
Oh yeah, we do have more questions. The other question I do have, of course, I'm trying to save a couple of my questions, that way we can end on a good note. But I'll ask this. Of course, the championship on Saturday. How do you feel going into the championship, knowing that you're facing the Wizards?
I know Porkchop will definitely disagree. I've definitely talked to him a lot, but I'm feeling pretty confident that we can take the series. Omen Ballin would say that no one would be able to take us in the series of 7, and I'm starting to think that's correct, since we've been really just like, I think as a team dynamic with just supporting each other, knowing how to change our play if we're really like falling behind, I think we definitely would be able to take down a lot of teams. There were some teams that I never really got to play that I'd really like to, such as the I'd like to play the A Rhino Foster.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would definitely be a good match, considering we've actually been scrimming them a lot. But I think that really we just need, from playing the Wizards before winning that 3-2 series, even though we've changed so much, both teams have changed so much between these 8 or so weeks, I think we can still take the series.
Yeah. As you said, you did manage to get a win over the Wizards. And yeah, both teams have changed quite a bit, but it's awesome to hear that you're confident going into your matchup. Definitely need that confidence going into a championship. Thunderbug asks a little bit of a question about the draft. Why did you pick Old Man last?
Well, if you're talking about why last out of 48th, that's because I got 24th, the last pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew coming into the draft, having a lot of my draft board taken out within the first round, I went in with just looking at how many, like, what people I've played with before, like, who I've seen play, and I know that is a solid player. And, well, for my first pick, I went with Uber, of course. And when it came around to pick my second player, I thought Owen Ballin was going to be the best possible person.
Yeah.
And it definitely showed.
That it's definitely shown throughout the season, I might add. Definitely been an extremely good pick for the Hawks, as of course breaking the drought in half that the Hawks had faced for a very long time, and now on the eve of the championship. Of course, again, we are talking to uppercase 1, captain of the Platte League Hawks. And another question here. This one from Iso Solo. What games did you or do you play besides Rocket League?
Recently, I recently upgraded my computer. I've been playing some Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And then F1, of course. We've been we started that F1 league when F1 2015 went on sale.
Yeah, the underground Formula 1 league, and nobody talks about it, right? It's like Fight Club. Oops. We don't talk about Fight Club. Dang it, I mentioned it again. But anyway.
And then also Team Fortress 2. It's an older game. I was introduced to it by a friend who's played it for a while, and I played it, was hesitant at first, but it definitely, like, coming out of Rocket League, it was definitely something that I really enjoyed, just, like, having fun with, just, like, a more, like, casual community.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of my personal favorite games was TF2. Fortnite reminds me a lot of TF2, and I think that's where the appeal is. For it's essentially, it takes the battle royale genre and turns it on its head with a little more of a cartoony feel.
Yeah.
But definitely great games altogether. Okay, I'm gonna break the interview just for a minute. M. Bissell, you are nuts, sir. Thank you very much for the bit donations. I do have to ask, Upper, do you have any wins in Fortnite yet?
No, I'm terrible. I'm only doing solos at this point.
Okay, only doing solos. What's the closest you've been to a win?
Fourth, but those are all games where I don't have any kills.
So
I basically just like camp the entire game, and I still get absolutely horrible loot. So it's definitely more something I don't really care much about.
And Bizzle is saying you should squad with him. I think he's gonna try to carry you to that win.
I mean, sure.
I mean, sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Words of wisdom, Cracer Lake here in the scrim that we got going on. A savage game winner, almost in uppercase style, with 3 seconds left. See if they're able to do anything to finish this off.
One thing I've got to say is that coming into the season, I never really thought I'd have anything, like, I'd really be known for anything. And now coming through the season, right there, just an example of exactly what I didn't expect. Just like being known for being such a when the pressure's on, it's late in the game, to like getting those goals.
Yeah, you definitely have come in the clutch on multiple plays. If it weren't something that I don't want to distract from the show that we got going on, I'd probably just show a whole bunch of clips of you going ham on everybody. Mainly because you can hear the wonderful voice crack that Jay has in the Week 9 matchup against the Jets. But I do have to ask, if you could have a Plat League dream team, who would be the 2 other people that you would draft on?
I have to say one of them is probably Tracer Link. Even though he has been a rival, he's a great guy. He's a really good player. And I think I haven't played too many games with him, but I think we do well as a team, despite the rivalry that we've had through the series. And I'd probably say I'm not quite sure if it's allowed, but I'd probably stick with Omen Ballin. He's definitely been really a dynamic player for me. He really supports me well. And he's a great guy, fun to be with. And I'd love to have him on my team again depending what's happened next season.
You heard it here first, folks. The Champions League roster for the Hawks is going to be Cracer Link, Old Man Ballin in uppercase 1, Kappa Kappa. Way too early prediction. Old Man Ballin literally saying in chat, "You're about to make him cry." He stopped playing in the middle of the scrim to type that one out. I don't blame him right there. And Bizzle still going ham with the bits. Thank you again, sir, for the wonderful bit donations. I really do appreciate it, sir. Anyway, I guess to turn this thing on its head, do you have any questions for me?
There's something that came to my mind, but I'm not going to. I think you probably know what it is.
Depends. What is it?
It's,
What does it involve? Does it involve octanes?
No.
Does it?
I'm not gonna mention it.
Okay. So...
Cracer in chat.
I'm not gonna mention it with Cracer in chat, oh boy.
No.
I can imagine what this is all about. Listen, Upper, I'll just I'll put it to you this way, Upper.
What?
In the words of the mask, do not go in there. Oh wait, no, that wasn't the mask. That was actually Ace Ventura Pet Detective. No, it was the mask. I can't remember my Jim Carrey movies. Fail. Thank you. Anyway. Oh, Cracer, get out of here with your questions. Anyway. Of course, the championship game is coming up this Saturday. It'll start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That'll be a pregame wind-up. Chances are you're going to get interviewed again. I may or may not be on that interviews panel. We'll figure that one out as time goes on. But, Upper, I really appreciate your time tonight. And I get the feeling I'm going to move on to the next guy. Do you have any last words?
Really, I know Cracer, yeah, I think it was Cracer who was asking about a 1v1 versus Omen Ballin on stream, and maybe if you want, I'm not sure who's in the lobby. But if we get a lobby, it might happen.
Yeah, feel free to jump in and 1v1 him on stream. That'd be really fun. I might even break character to commentate on that. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, thanks again, Uppercase 1. That was the one, the only Uppercase 1 here on MLD Monday. Really appreciate his time, and of course, definitely getting ready for the championships coming up extremely soon. So, special thanks, of course, to those who are donating all these bits. Namely, M. Bizzle. You are nutty, sir, let me tell you. I really do appreciate the bits. I can see them down there. By the way, everybody in chat, what do you think of the new layout here? We got a different font, a little bit of a different theme going on, different colors. Special thanks to Furphy. Furphy is the one who did essentially all of this, and he put it together. He didn't need too much consult from me. Amazingly professional, clean look. It's the new look of the Kendo Slice channel, and I really do appreciate what he did for me. If you guys are interested at all in updating your look, maybe you're interested in a logo, he might be able to do that as well for you. Get in contact with him. You can DM him on Discord, of course. Furphy, those of you who don't know him, you might be able to get in touch with him on Twitter. I'll try to put up his Twitter between breaks. But yeah, definitely check him out. Special thanks to him, because I really do enjoy the new theme. It looks nice. And yeah, like Narble just mentioned, it matches. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So beautiful. Anyway, we are going to go straight to break. It's going to be a quick break, hopefully. I need to use the restroom, and then we're going to see if we can find that Twitter link for you. And then we are going to bring in the captain of the Wizards as our second guest, BTK Hale. And we will be right back. we break back in. Because Upper and AutoCAD are 1v1ing right now. This you want to see. Going straight in. Literally, Upper is up 1 on AutoCAD. Granted, I'm not sure if AutoCAD's trying right now. But it's a little bit nutty. Always fun to watch Uppercase 1v1. Definitely one of my favorite people to watch 1v1 because he can beat people. He's beaten me before. Definitely a lot of fun. But anyway, we're going to get into our second guess. I am going to bring him in. Our... Wait. Oh, no. I messed up. My bad. Terrible. My second guest of the day is going to be the captain of the Platinum League Wizards. Hashtag WizOn'em. He led the Wizards in part to a 33-17 finishing record on the season, and of course the Wizards are in the Plat League Championship, which again is going to be this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Getting started with a little bit of pregame, so make sure you check that out. So, I have with me the man of many names. I have BTK Hale, the 96 Kid. Hale, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I am doing fairly well myself. Right off the bat, I do have to ask you. It's very rare for someone to have an awesome name. It's very, very rare for a person to have 2 awesome names. So, can you give me a little bit of background behind BTK Hale and the 96 Kid?
Yeah, man. So basically, the 96 Kid, I mean, as everybody knows, that's my PSN. But 96 is the year I was born. But I'm a big race fan. It's actually where I met Old Man Ballin'. That was in our league racing thing that we do on PlayStation. But whenever I was racing, my number was 96. And I think whenever I was in like 7th grade, that's whenever I got my PSN, started playing online and stuff like that, and I really couldn't think of a name. So that's the result of a 7th grade name right there, as the 96 Kid. And then just once I got into high school, I was like, I need to think of something else. And whenever I was racing, I never really had a nickname. And I took our trailer to get the decals put on it, like the wrap and everything with our graphics and all on it. And the graphics guy actually put Billy the Kid, because my name is Billy, so it actually put Billy the Kid on the back of the trailer. So that's where BTK comes from, and then Hale is just my last name. So it would have been way too long to put Billy the Kid Hale, so I just have BTK and Hale.
That is absolutely amazing. And I will say, for a 7th grade name, yours is a lot better than mine was. But
What was yours? Let's hear it. What was yours?
What?
What was yours? Let's hear it.
KC Revolution 05.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it, but I like yours a lot better. The 96 Kid sounds pretty darn good.
Well, I appreciate it.
But anyway, let's see here. You guys started out the season extremely well. First in the power rankings, I think all the way until week 5. If I remember right, your record at week 5 was 20-5. But in week 6,
something around there.
In week 6, trouble, because Porkchop ranks out. I have to ask you, at that moment, what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, we kind of were suspecting the rank out because a lot of other people, ranking out and being moved to Champ League by council, things like that. But we, we were trying to prepare as much as we could for it. So we started looking for a third to pick up, and then that led us looking for another reserve and just things like that. But, I mean, we handled the transfer pretty well. Pork messaged me asking how I felt about taking captainship. I told him that, if that's what he felt, I didn't, I told him I was indifferent. I just wanted somebody who'd lead the team the way he did. And, that with that being said, I had a very large pair of shoes to fill. because Pork was just, I mean, everything that you'd look for in a captain pretty much. And, I still don't feel like I've lived up to, what the kind of captain that Pork was, but, with his help, and, just the team as a whole working together as the organization that they are, we were able to, make it to Plat League finals. And, we went through a lot of hard teams to get there, but we worked hard. And I feel like ultimately we are where we belong.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did struggle a little bit after Pork ended up leaving.
We did.
Yep. It definitely showed in the record, as you guys were first in the power rankings for a very long time. I know there was a loss to the Ducks in there. That was a 4. No, was it a 4-1 or a 5-0? I can't remember.
It was a 4-1. Yeah, that was definitely a rough series. The Ducks were a good team in general, and then we just had some technical difficulties as far as Kramer's concerned. But not making excuses, the Ducks definitely played their game. They showed up for that night. But yeah, with Pork leaving, it definitely did leave a hole, and it was one that had to definitely be fixed. We had a rough patch, but like I said before, just the work ethic and the team that we have, they refuse to lose, and that's the kind of team that you need to have a championship caliber team, and that's, I feel like, what we have.
But you guys continued to lead the Tropic division though throughout that entire time, and that's kind of a testament half to what you guys started out with, because it was an absolutely amazing start, but at the same time, you guys kept on fighting despite all of the hardship that you went through.
Yeah, we did. It was like and Kramer was also, he made it very concerned. It was just a thing of it. It was definitely in our heads. We lost Pork, and Pork was, he was captain, but Pork is what the team was built around. And it was just, like I said, just trying to. There was chemistry there. There was still chemistry, and there was never, there was never that time where we were like, Actually, I mean, we were worried, obviously, because we went from being a, very, very dominant team just for the chemistry that we had to struggling, But yeah, like I said, Pork really stuck with us, and he helped us build the chemistry that we needed. And I still feel like, if Pork was here, then I definitely feel like we would have had, still number one through the power rankings through the rest of the season, the regular season. But, we held in there, and definitely proud of the efforts that we had going.
Yeah, very much so. So given all that you've been through, the hardships that you guys have had to overcome, how are you feeling about the championship game against the Hawks? And I mean, we talked to Upper earlier. He definitely very good in the clutch. The highlight reel for this guy is off the chain.
Absolutely.
You guys feeling confident going into that final matchup?
Yeah, I'm feeling confident. The guys are as well. Upper, as you said, Upper's clutch. He really is. Old Man also. I mean, I've played around Old Man since as long as I can remember, since I've even had the game, I'm pretty sure. But just, seeing Upper, seeing what he can do, it's definitely, it's in your head. But, like I said, we faced a lot of top caliber teams this season. And I feel like when kickoff comes, I feel like we'll definitely be ready.
Yeah. And just to follow up with your relationship with Old Man Ballin, is it purely through the video game, the racing league that he is part of? I know we talked with him about 2 weeks back, and we got into the discussion quite a bit. Or do you guys actually live a little bit close to one another?
No, I'm in Louisiana. I think Old Man's in Oklahoma or something like that. I'm not sure. Yeah. But no, like I said, we pretty much met. I actually was watching a stream. I forgot what stream it was. It was his stream. I forgot what game it was on. I think it was the NASCAR Heat. Yeah, it was NASCAR Heat 1. And I was watching his stream or whatever, and then I ended up messaging in his chat, and I was just he said he was part of a league, and I was actually going to try to join the league in, but it just so happened that the league that he was in was the one I was currently in the process of joining. So, it just kind of happened to fall into place. And then, we raced around each other for a little while and got to that relationship where I was like, hey, man, what other games do you play? Maybe we could play something else. And he's like, oh, I'm on Rocket League. And I was like, okay, well, and then everything just pretty much branched off from there. But I've known old man for probably about 2 years now. I've known him, but yeah, we met on racing, and then he's helped me a lot as far as the racing's concerned with setups and things like that, and then vice versa. It's just, but he's one of those guys that you haven't actually met in person, but you kind of want to, I guess you could say it that way. But then, he's also one of those guys that you feel like you've just known him forever, and you already know the person.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely got that vibe from him as we were interviewing a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite people to interview so far. But again, we are talking to BTK Hale here on MLD Monday. Of course, everyone in the chat, make sure that if you do have any questions for the Wizards captain, you type them in the chat whenever you get the chance, because we are, of course, taking open questions for BTK Hale. I guess it's safe to say, though, with how we started out the discussion, you prefer the BTK Hale, correct? Over the 96 kid?
Like I said, I'm indifferent. But I've had people call me kid. I've had people call me 96. Then people mix it up and call me 69. I've had I have people call me Hale, just BTK. I have people call me B. It's just, I'm like I said, I'm really indifferent. But I don't know. I think I'm called. It's really even, to be honest. I have people call me 96, and then BTK is really, those two are pretty even as far as what I get called the most. As far as preference is concerned, I think I like BTK Hale a little bit more, just because I feel like the 96 kid was a little bit childish when I made it, considering I was in 7th grade. But yeah, I think I like BTK Hale the most.
That's what I was going for right there, to try to figure that one out. Because I know I've ended up calling you both at the same time, which is quite the mouthful.
In week one, you called me KD. So.
Oh boy. That was a mistake. I hope I never made
it.
No, but anyway.
No, it was fine, man. It was fine.
I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, in week one, I was barely alive, let alone casting. There's been a lot of improvement for all of us here in the MLD.
Absolutely.
Especially those of us who are casting. But man, oh man. As far as going into the end of the season, you guys put up some very good stats. Porkchop, of course, by far was the leader of the team, and the team was built around him. He was in the top 2 in 4 different stat categories, which is absolutely mental. And
Pork was definitely.
The fact was, with only 20 games against the 35 that you and Kramer have, he still had more goals than you actually on the season. With 15 less games, which is, again, as I said, completely mental. The one thing I did notice, though, you have an extremely good assist stat. You're 7th in the league in assists per game. The 1 point, you average over an assist per game, which is really, really good. Finishing the season with 36 on the season. So that. Would you say that the pass-off is your strength? Or do you feel like your strength lies in other places?
I had this discussion with the guys going in. Ever since I played Rocket League, I just really was built around striking in general, so just shooting. But, I talked with Kramer and Pork before the season even started, and I told them that, I know a lot of people, they want to be MVP every single match, and I just want wins. And I told him, I was like, if it comes to a part of the season or just a game in general where, I'm passing and somebody else is shooting and getting the points, as long as we're scoring goals and winning games, I'll do what I have to do to be a team player, And so far, I mean, as far as since Kramer and I found chemistry, we've been, uncovered more and more and more chemistry. Kramer's definitely been the striker. And I'm perfectly okay with that, like I said. So as long as I can pass it up to him and he's making goals off of it, I'm more than content with where we are with that.
Very much so. I'm working on getting the server that we had for our scrim back up again. Because apparently the servers went down for maintenance. Psionics, please.
Oh, Lord.
Let's see here. Gonna type in a couple chats really quick because I still need to organize the whole scrim portion of my stream a whole lot better. Anyway, okay, and we're back. Whew. Let's see here. I do have to ask about your championship promise at the draft that you made with Old Man Ballin.
Yeah, I actually went out to dinner right before the draft with my family, and I was talking to Old Man. I think I was talking on the phone actually, and I was just telling him, I was like, man, I don't even, because as far as the four-mans, I think four-mans was the only like real scrim or showcase or anything that I had done like leading up to the draft. As far as like regular scrims were concerned and things like that, I just wasn't able to because I'm in college and it just takes up so much of my time. But I was on the phone with Tyler and I was just talking and I was like, man, I'm not even expecting to get drafted, yada yada yada. He was saying, he's like, well, we'll see what happens, and it got down to about middle of the second round, and I told him, I was like, I don't know, man, it's not looking good. And he told me, he said, hang in there, and then he pretty much told me, he said, we're both getting drafted. I was like, all right, well, sure enough, came around, I got drafted, and then he got picked up last, and I looked like a kid at dinner with the family, just in the middle of a restaurant. I jumped over, I was like, Tyler got drafted, that's awesome. And then I told him, he ended up calling me afterwards. We were talking again, and he was like, well, you realize this happened. He goes, we're meeting in a championship, right? And I told him, I said, if I got anything to say about it, I said, we're going to meet in a championship. That's a promise. That's what I said. And he, when we got off to, the season started and everything, the Hawks got off to a rough start, but they definitely turned their season around. And we had beat the Rhinos. And as soon as we finished, I messaged Tyler, and I told him, I was like, hey, I held up my bargain, now it's your turn. And then they ended up winning the series, and we got on the phone again, and he was like, man, you realize we kept a promise? I was like, we sure did, man. So it's pretty much, as far as that's concerned, it was pretty much storybook, man. Tyler's probably one of my best friends in the MLD, and just aside from my teammates, obviously. And then but just having he and I in the finals, and in our my rookie season in MLD, he played, I think, one game last season when he broke his arm or wrist or something like that.
Although his argument was that he hadn't played pretty much enough to.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll consider this his rookie season too. But with this being the season that we both actually were to get drafted, not just picked up after the season had started, but just the fact that we were both able to make it to the finals was that's a dream come true in itself as far as gaming is concerned. But now the next step is for one of us to take home the title. So that's what the focus is on now.
So, Uppercase One asked, how do you feel like your relationship with Old Man Ballin affects you going into this match?
I mean, it's cool. It's definitely going to be cool knowing that it's the championship game. And like I just said, pretty much looking across the field and seeing, one of your really good friends on the other side. But it'd definitely be cooler if he was on your side, obviously. But just the fact that we're both sharing that same experience is definitely going to be cool. As far as it being in my head or anything like that, I mean, we're all in this for fun, even though it's a competitive atmosphere. That's what it's all about in MLD, and that's what we intend to keep it as. And I'm just excited for the both of us, to be honest. As far as grudges or anything like that, I mean, there's really nothing. He wants to win just as bad as I do. But like I said, I think just the excitement that we're both in finals is what's taken over as far as emotions are concerned.
So we got Rage, Kane, and Uppercase 1 doing a 1v1 in the show match at the moment. So this is going to be a little bit interesting with the demo there.
I did an Ace tournament with Rage one time, 3v3s, and Rage was definitely a beast.
Oh yeah, definitely someone strategically like the way he thinks about the game is extremely. I think he's one of the top in the league when it comes to the thought process of the game and breaking down a lot of rotational.
Absolutely, he's quick. He's quick on the ball, and he makes very few mistakes.
Come up with a word, Kendo. You can do it. I believe in your caster skills. Maybe.
You got it, man. You got it.
But yeah. Old man Ballin is talking some trash right now. He's gonna beat you like he does in NASCAR. Do you have anything? Do you have a retort at all for that?
I mean, I got a couple things I could say, but I don't roast him on stream. But nah, I mean, he's all right at racing, I guess. But if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have won half his races anyway because I gave him setup. So that's honestly a joke. He gave me a lot of NASCAR setups, but I'm the reason his iRacing career took off. So.
So I do have to ask, and this will be more towards the tough questions.
All right, let's get them.
Maybe even a little bit savage. I know a lot of people going into the Orange Conference Championship, the Rhinos coming in without Aether. It'd be silly of me to say that it didn't make a difference, or it's silly of anyone to say it didn't make a difference. Do you guys think you still would have won that matchup if Aether were in?
I think it definitely would have been a bigger challenge, and not taking anything away from Asmi or Suspect. It just with the chemistry that they had, they were the A roster. But I think it definitely would have been more of a challenge. I think the work that Kramer and I put in definitely would have given them a run for their money. I know we were the underdogs for a fact going into the game. Mm-hmm. And I'd be lying if I told you we didn't take advantage of the lack of chemistry between the Asmi and Suspect. But I mean, you got to give them credit for stepping up, especially Suspect in the situation he was put in. He definitely performed above what his rank shows.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. One of the things I absolutely loved about the Rhinos' reaction to everything was Asmi throwing out amazing sportsmanship after that match.
Absolutely. Asmi was definitely, he messaged me after telling me good games and everything. And he and I talked for a little bit, especially on the topic of Suspect and just how he stepped up to the plate. That was a challenge for him to have to take both of them in general, losing a very key player to their offense and their defense. But, as far as both of them stepping up, they played an excellent series. And, I told them, like I tell everybody, but they definitely had no reason to hold their heads down. They need to keep their chins up because they played an awesome series. And given the circumstances, they were definitely in the chase, no doubt.
So, of course, everybody in the chat, if you have any questions, we're getting towards the close of our interview here. And, of course, I am here with BTK Hale, going into the Saturday matchup that will reign supreme. Of course, both teams never won a championship, which is a very fun fact, even in their previous incarnations. Of course, the Wizards as the Tigers back in the day. But definitely looking forward to the matchup. I have to ask, if you had to give a prediction on how you think that it'll go, they always tell players, competitors to envision the win. How do you envision this matchup going?
I definitely think it's going to go to 7 games. Ultimately, I think with the chemistry Kramer and I have built up, I think we're going to take home the title. But Upper and Old Man, they've definitely come a long way since the beginning of the season, so it's definitely going to be a challenge. But like I said, ultimately, I think in the long run, I think we'll be able to take home the win.
I love
Bring
Old
the
Man
title,
Ballin in the
bring
chat.
the title back to the Wizards camp.
Yeah, definitely. I love Old Man Ballin in the chat. He says 4-0 Hawks.
4-0 Hawks. I got it. I hear.
Old Man Ballin does ask a serious question, though. What is the toughest thing about becoming a captain?
Man, honestly, just what I stated in the beginning of the interview. Just having large shoes to fill as far as Pork Chop's concerned. He was everything that you could want in a captain. He gives it to you straightforward as far as where you lack, where you're strong at, and but the thing is, he's there to help you. And even as far as me taking over captainship, it was taking the torch. He was still there for us. It was almost like he was captain in the shadows. So still a lot of props to Pork Chop for what he's done for the team, and on both, even the Champ League side. I mean, he's been there for scrims for them and things like that. But just the biggest thing, like I said, just trying to carry the torch that he passed on, just filling the shoes that he left.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do have one final question. This one not from the chat, but it's one that is near and dear to most of the hearts of the MLD faithful. And this is probably the most important question. Granted, I'm neutral on it.
All right.
BTK Hale, pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely yes.
Yes. Pineapple on pizza is God's gift to man, and El Fuego can get over it.
Shots fired, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Lord.
Named names. Mercy. Throw out some fire emojis in the chat for that one, ladies and gentlemen. That was just telling him like he believed. Mercy. I think you and Old Man Ballin might have to have a 1v1 after this, because he definitely does not like your decision.
Yeah, I just gotta. I'm reading the comments now, so. Yeah.
You have been thoroughly judged, but I appreciate your honesty on that question. Definitely.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, pineapple on pizza. I'm sorry to all the fans I may lose on that one, but I love it. It's awesome.
Well, I really do appreciate your time. Of course, this was
not a problem, man.
This was BTK Hale, the 96 kid, man of many names, man of great words. And I do appreciate your time coming on.
Thank you for having me.
On the eve, essentially, of the championship weekend. Again, folks, championship weekend for the MLD starts on Saturday. It'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So definitely get over there and check out what we are going to have going on. Well, for the most part, this is the end of MLD Monday for the night. And I really appreciate everyone coming on. Really appreciate everybody watching, the bits that have been donated, the whole nine. Absolutely crazy. Again, I thank you guys so much for the support, because we wouldn't be where we are without you guys. But I'm going to see if I can get one more quick guest in. Because I'd like to talk about my personal predictions, but I would also like to buffer it by bringing one person impromptu into the stream very quickly. So, stalling for time. I'm not sure if he's gonna read or not. Maybe I'll just shout him out in the chat here. Of course, y'all saw that live. I have with me to finish this off. Cracer Link. Cracer, how are you tonight?
I'm well. How you doing?
I am impromptu bringing you in because I want someone to buffer with me. Someone to essentially, whether you disagree with me or not, it's perfectly fine. Just as long as we have two opinions going in on this at the same time, it won't seem toxic.
There you go.
But I definitely want to talk about the matchup that we have coming up this Saturday. What two teams that have overcome a little bit of adversity here and there.
Yeah.
You got a potential star in uppercase 1, and then you have the team that overcame losing a star in Porkchop in the Wizards. Seemingly a more solo play style out of the Hawks, whereas the Wizards definitely like to pass quite a bit more comparatively. Do you have a favorite going into the championship?
I think it's going to be really close games. If anything, I agree with BTK. It's going to go to Game 7 because the Wizards have great team play, and as long as that team play is on point, it's going to be very hard to counter. But of course, Upper has a lot of momentum. He's a very skilled player. He's what I call in the Plat League the D3 gang because we're the Diamond Threes of the Plat League. So we're the scary guys coming in. So it really depends. Are Hale and Kramer going to be able to keep their heads calm? Don't let Upper get a 0 hero and stop them, or is Upper just going to use his D3 power and get him?
I can definitely agree with your thought process on that.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, are you actually going to pick and curse one of these teams?
Well, I don't believe in curses. I think the Wizards could probably take it. I would say the Wizards have the higher chance coming in.
So you think Wizards in 7?
Yeah. I mean, they have a great coach in Porkchop,
This is true. Porkchop has not left, and he's been coaching the entire time.
Yeah. And Upper's too young to know about dolphins.
Dolphins? Really?
Yes.
Dolphins?
The power of the Dolphins. They're the secret team of the MLD coming in next season. You heard it here first.
Anyway. Not the Dolphins. I love the fact that the chat in the matchup is actually more active right now than the chat on stream, which is cool. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay. I wanted to bring you in that way I had someone to buffer off of when I give my prediction. That way it's not as awkward when Kendo said this and nobody else had to get anything to go off of. If I had to guess, I think it's going to be a 0 hero goal that wins it. It's going to be Upper coming out clutch once again. And I think it's specifically going to be in 6 games.
In 6 games?
6 games, Hawks, 0 hero. I think you're going to see 2 to 3 overtimes as well.
Yeah.
In this match.
I can agree with that. It's one where it's going to be team play versus individual skill.
And I think Upper's going to come up clutch. I think that the momentum, for the most part, is going to be in the corner of the Wizards throughout the match. but I think that the Hawks are going to steal a couple, and it'll end up being a zero hero that crushes the Dreams.
So you're saying he's going to Dolphin Splash?
Oh my goodness, Cracer, get out of here! What did I bring you in for anyway? My goodness. And Cracer is done now. Cracer is gone. I have muted him. Anyway, folks. Oh, man. Dolphin memes, do not ask, please. Everyone in the chat, please, for the love of all things pure, do not ask about dolphin memes. Because dolphin memes are something that belong only in the Kendo Slice Discord, which there is a link below in the tiles section if you want to check that out. If you want to know more about dolphins, I'm sure Cracer can show you, Dewey. But anyway, that has been the MLD Monday for this week. Shoutouts, of course, once again to Furphy for all the amazing awesomeness that you see here on the stream. We got the Kendo Cam right there. Looks extremely nice, professional, simple, extremely well done, and I really appreciate his work, how much he put into it. Thank you to M. Bizzle for donating the bits. Extremely amazing, sir. You continue to be awesome. Furphy throwing in an extra 5 bits right there. I see you. I really do appreciate that. We also did have followers today. Let's see if I can remember a couple of them. I might have to pull up my Nightbot. Crap! This is true production value right here. Eventually, I'm going to have the Stream Deck set up to where I can pull up the Nightbot at the end of the day with the push of a button. I won't have to worry about anything, and this will be a whole lot faster. But special thanks, of course. We can get in there. My goodness, I can't do anything right today. Let's see, special thanks, special thanks, special thanks. I'll get it eventually, folks. I'm terrible at this. I'm sorry. And see, this is why we need the Stream Deck, because it's not going well. Okay, here we go. We have it up. Followers, BTK Hale and Thunderbug. Thank you very much for your coming in, enjoying the stream. Definitely be on the watch. Be ready for the stream, of course, on Saturday. But don't forget, we have plenty of MLD action this week, starting, of course, on Thursday, most likely at that 9 o'clock Eastern slot. Of course, keep up to date on Twitter for the details there. On behalf of everyone here at MLD Monday, my name is Kendo Slice. I appreciate y'all. Be good to one another, encourage one another, and have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody.
Right now, when you lease